Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Lirianti. In this video, I will explain about social linguistic. So, here the subject of discussion that I will discuss in this video. The first one is definition of social linguistic. The second one is basic concept of social linguistic. The third one is language gender and language varieties. And the fourth one is lingua franca, pidgin, and Creole. And the last one is language maintenance and language shift. So, what is social linguistic? Social linguistic is the study of how language serves and is shaped by the social nature of human beings. That means, social nature of humans emphasizes that language is basically tied to the social aspect of human existence. In other words, the way people use language is influenced by social interaction, relationship, and its structure. So, social linguistics explore the complex relationship between language and society, recognizing that language is a dynamic, multifaceted aspect of human behavior that is deeply connected to social structure and interaction. Okay, now, so I will explain basic concept in social linguistics. There are three basic concepts in social linguistics. The first one is speech community, and the second one is speech or verbal repertoire, and the last one is speech situation, speech events, and speech act. Okay, first, speech community. A set of people will have something in common linguistically, a language or dialect, interaction by means of speech, a range of varieties, attitudes, and group identity. So, this definition seems to describe a sociolinguistic concept related to group of people who share a linguistic connection, interact through speech, and exhibit variation in language use, attitudes, and a collective sense of identity. It aligns with the idea that a language is not only a means of communication, but also a social phenomenon deeply tied to group dynamics and identity. Okay, next to speech or verbal repertoire. Speech repertoire refers to the range of languages or varieties of language available for use by a speaker, each of which enables him or her to perform a particular social role. So, in the basic sociolinguistic concept, speech repertoire is the variety of languages or varieties of language that a speaker is able to use. It includes the linguistic resources a person possesses, enabling them to communicate effectively in different roles or social contexts. In short, speech repertoire is a dynamic concept that reflects a person's linguistic flexibility, allowing them to adapt their language use to suit various social roles and contexts. Okay, let's speech situation, speech event, and speech act. So in this discussion, speech situation, this refers to the broader context in which communication occurs, taking into account factors such as participation, setting, and purpose. And speech events, these are more specific communication events, often shaped by social norms and expectation. And speech acts, this involves looking at the intent behind a particular utterance or expression, taking into account not only the words spoken but also the social function they have. So social linguists go beyond sentence level analysis to explore how language function in real world social situation. This approach is important for understanding the dynamic and context dependent nature of language is used in society. Okay, now I will explain language gender. Language and gender refers to the relationship between the language of male and female. In sociolinguistics, the term language and gender refers to the study of how gender influences language use and how language reflects, reinforces, or challenges societal expectation related to gender. This field explores the ways in which language is connected to perception and construction of gender roles, identities, and power dynamics. Overall, the study of language and gender in sociolinguistics aims to uncover the complex interplay between language and and societal notion of gender, shedding light on the ways in which language both reflects and shape our understanding of gender roles and identities. Okay, next to language varieties. This variation can include dialect, jargon, register, and the last one is type of lex. Dialect. In sociolinguistics, a dialect refers to a variety of language that is characteristic of a particular group of speakers. Dialects can manifest in differences in pronunciation, vocabulary, and grammatical structure. This variation often arises due to factors like regional, social, and cultural influences. It is important to note that the dialect is not inherently inferior or superior to another. Rather, they represent valid linguistic expression within different communities. And then register. Register in sociolinguistics, a register refers to a variety of a language that is used in a particular social context or for a specific purpose. A register can vary in terms of vocabulary, tone, and style to suit the formality or informality of the given context. For example, the language used in a formal business meeting would have a different register than the language used among friends in a casual setting. Next to jargon. Jargon refers to specialized language or vocabulary used by a particular group or community with shared interests, such as a professional or enthusiasts in a specific field. Uh, this specialized terminology may be technical or obscure to those outside the group, serving as a prompt of in-group communication. Jargon helps facilitate communication among members of the community who have a common understanding of the terms, but it may be challenging for outsiders to comprehend without the necessary background knowledge. And the last type of lex. There are four types of lex. The first one is regional dialect, a variety spoken in a particular region. The second one is sociolect, also known as a social dialect, a variety of language or register used by socioeconomic class, a profession, an age group, or any other social group. And the third one is ethnolect, a like spoken by specific ethnic group. And the last one is the idiolect. According to E2F, the language or languages spoken by each individual. Okay, so I will explain lingua franca, pidgin, and creole. A lingua franca is one that is used for communication between people who have no native language in common. This help to facilitate trade and cultural exchange, which have to explain why lingua franca were also called trade or bridge languages. So, lingua franca refers to language used as common means of communication between speakers of different native languages. One example of lingua franca is English. This is because English is widely used by people throughout the world as a means of communicating in trade, politics, and science. Apart from English, examples of lingua franca are Chinese, Arabic, and Spanish. Therefore, English has also become a global lingua franca and is used in various sectors. It functions as a bridge language, facilitating interaction and understanding diverse linguistic environments, often in the context of trade, diplomacy, or cultural exchange. Okay, next to pidgin languages. Pidgin languages share the main characteristic of lingua franca in that they are used as a means of communication between different communities. Where they differ from the previous is that pidgin languages have no native speakers. So, although pidgin languages and lingua franca serve as a means of communication between different communities, pidgin languages do not have native speakers. Pidgin usually develop as a simplified form of communication when groups with different mother tongues came into contact with each other, serving practical communication needs without being the first language of any of the groups involved. In contrast, a lingua franca is a language that is adopted as a common language for communication between speakers or different native different native languages, but may also have native speaker. Okay, next to Creole languages. In sociolinguistic, a Creole language refers to a stable, natural language that has developed from a mixture of different languages. So, Creoles often emerge in multilingual communities, particularly in situations where people with diverse linguistic backgrounds come into contact and need to communicate. Creole languages typically have simplified grammar and vocabulary compared to their foreign languages. They can arise in various social contexts, such as during colonization, slavery, and or trade interaction. Creoles are considered distinct languages in their own right and are spoken as a native language by a community. Examples include Haitian Creole, and Papiamento. Okay, the last discussion is language maintenance and language shift. Language maintenance and language shift are concepts in sociolinguistics that describe the dynamics of language use within community. So, language maintenance involves the intentional effort to keep language alive within a community, while language shift describes the process of community transitioning away from its original language to adopt a different one. These concepts are crucial in understanding the vitality and sustainability of languages in diverse sociolinguistic contexts. So, okay, that's all from me, and that's the discussion about social linguistic, and hopefully useful for me and all of us. And thank you for your watching, and like, comment, subscribe maybe, and I really thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you. Bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.